Hello, and welcome to the Process of the Pearl podcast with Tandalia. As you and I take our life's journey one day at a time as a grain of sand. By learning the importance of rest, experience restoration, and gain restitution by receiving everything we've lost. Hi, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Welcome to the Process of the Pearl talk for tonight. Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Wonderful.
I'm ready.
Wonderful. So I just wanted to introduce myself once again. My name is Tandalia, and we want to introduce you all to our special guest of the night, Lillian. How are you?
Hello, everybody. I'm good. I'm doing good tonight. Thank God.
Good. Mm-hmm. Hope you had a wonderful day today.
I did. My day was good. Thank you.
Good. So tonight we're going to be talking about Flourish.
Mm-hmm.
There's many things, but I'm going to bring it to a perspective of life.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about a life of a flower when it blooms and blossoms, or whatever flower you can think of.
Okay.
So the key scripture for tonight is going to be praying for God to open up a door. Well, he does open up doors. It's up to us to walk through them. And we're going to be talking about a young girl that, but basically the background of the story, she got abducted, kidnapped when their country got attacked. And so they took her. And so when they took her, she became one of the maids for one of the servants, masters. And so he had leprosy, and she knew of someone that can help him with the leprosy, but he wanted just somebody to speak the word and leprosy to be gone. I'm just going back into the ocean. Then we come back, and she said that she knew a prophet that can help him, but he wanted the prophet to just speak a word. But the word the prophet had for him was that you have to go dump in this dirty water 7 times. And he's like, who does that? Of course, he left with pride and anger. But then, and they said, if he would have gave you this word, you would have done it. What's the difference in this word and that word? And when he done it, the leprosy was gone. So she was that flower in the midst of that storm that brought, that light, that different perspective of how things should look if you look at this way or that way, what it would look like. So that's what the 2 Kings 5:1-3, just a little background of it. But what the Lord gave me was how, what I was saying, Lord, help me to do what I can do in whatever circumstance. And basically she said, pretty much you can hear her in her head say, Lord, help me to do whatever I can do in whatever circumstance. And in that circumstance, she was able to speak life and say, this is what this prophet is telling you to do, to do that. And then I said, I am to bring about good, and that's what we are here for. And if you can use a little maid in exile, you can use me. So if he could use a little maid, imagine him using a little flower to bring life to someone. And you can be that little flower that's bringing that life to someone. It don't actually have to be an actual plant or a flower. It's just us flourishing and where he has told us to flourish from. So when you think of the word flourish, what does it mean to you?
Flourish is like a beautiful process. And it's a matter of it being something like the final stage, but a beautiful final stage. Flourish is, like I said, from the bottom all the way to the top. So when it actually opens or flourishes, it's like everybody sees that beauty and that growth that happened, and then that final stage of what it looks like, and it's beautiful. Flourish is a word that is beautiful, and it has nutrition and love in it. So yeah, I think of that and relate it to a flower, a beautiful flower.
So I guess my question to you is, when you think about your life now and where you was, how do you feel like you have, where do you feel like you have flourished from, and how?
Oh my goodness.
Well, let me give you a little example of what's in my head and what I'm thinking.
Uh-huh.
And I know we're probably going to have to come back to this.
Mm-hmm.
It starts as a seed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you think of the first seed that was sown into you when you was deep down, and then now you begin to start becoming that stem.
That was sown into me. Say that one more time.
A seed that was sown into you
Mm-hmm.
that helped you to start coming into a stem, into leaves, into that flower.
I was thinking about this the other day, but I think the seed was always planted when we went to the Baptist church in North Carolina. I remember that. And I remember it being so powerful, and the music like left an impact on me. And I think that all those years of me being a little girl, and my my family was like, oh, we're Catholic, and then you just go to this church because you feel like it's the way. But I was getting nothing from it. I just was going there. Most people will say you stand up, sit down. I wasn't really understanding a word. But when I went to other churches, like a Baptist church, I felt something, and I knew I was on the right path. So the seed kept being dropped or just growing a little bit more. But I felt like, even when I went to Christian church, I felt the presence of the Lord there. Like I felt like that was home. I understood it. But I feel like with me, I had to go through things for me to see where I needed to go. Because even if my parents didn't teach me it, sometimes, you go throughout life and think that you know how to live life. But if you don't have that foundation with Christ, you have nothing. So, you just think that you could do things on your own. But I feel like when I moved to the Bronx and I met a friend, and this girl, her name is Monique, I kept telling her, I want to go to church. What's this church you're speaking about? So she brought me to this Baptist church, and it was beautiful. I ended up going more than her. And she stopped going. I was going. I loved it.
Right. It's because you saw the growth of.
I saw it. I saw myself becoming, like I saw myself chasing after God, even though I didn't know how to do it, what was going to happen. I knew that people who already studied the word and had that relationship with God, I knew that I was going to get there, or I wanted to get there, but I didn't even understand what it really meant to have a relationship with God until recently, but I knew I was chasing after it. And then when I finally came here where I live at now, and you go through things, and I had to seek the Lord, but that whole time I was just a seed and just getting bigger and bigger. But now I feel like, since I have a relationship, I feel like I'm just blossoming, like I'm opening up, the flowers opening up.
Right. So you're saying, as a little girl, you was like pretty much in the ground with the seed was dropped when you got a chance to go to church as a little girl, and then you was still in the ground, still not having any understanding. Then you begin to start going to church with your friend, and then you realize, oh, my stem is growing. Oh, okay, I'm going more than she's going, because something has really just inside of me keep watering me.
Yep.
My leaves are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Now I've gone through all the trials and tribulations. My roots are getting deeper. So now I've gone through these things. So now I can see even the stem getting taller. Now I can begin to start seeing some leaves on my flower.
Yes.
Wow.
Definitely. I saw that. And then it's to the point where I can even see color in the flower.
Wow.
Because before, you just, you have a thought, or you're growing, but I could see color, and I could see the beauty in it. So yeah.
So what kind of flower did you feel like you was creating into, and what color are you?
I can see like a white lily or like an
Mm,
orchid. Because I mean, that's just what came to my mind. But it's kind of simple but beautiful. It doesn't have like all those leaves. It's kind of just like one kind of, yeah, that's what just came to my mind. And it doesn't have to have all those leaves, all those extra pretty petals on them. You know what I mean? For it to be beautiful or to stand strong. That's how I feel.
yes. That's wonderful. That's beautiful.
hmm
So, where do you see, or how can I say, as your flower, which we know is an orchid, it prunes over seasons and stuff like
hmm
that, and things fall and the leaves fall. When you see the leaves begin to fall off, what are some of your thoughts to come to your mind?
That's a good question. When I begin to see the leaves fall off, you know what? It can go either way, right? Because it can go where, depending on where you're at in your season,
Mm-hmm.
you could take it like you're losing something, or you could take it where it's new growth, or you're growing from something that you let go, or that's just the next level for you. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess it depends on your season or where you're at
Mm-hmm.
and that mindset at that time. But yeah, it can go either way. It could either make you feel like, oh my God, I lost something, or
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, like I was saying, just like something's breaking off for you to get something new,
Mm-hmm.
or it's just time for a next level.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
we know what the flower looks like, right? We already know what we are. So if I know if I'm like that orchid that I pictured in my mind, so I know that whatever's falling off, I don't need,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if you're like, and you see it like you're standing firm, like if you think of an orchid as like you're standing firm, like you're strong, this is white, it's pure, you're in the Lord. So whatever comes off you is just either something that try to get you that can't get you, or couldn't stay there for too long. Like when you tell the Lord, Lord, if it's not for me, then get it, like remove it in the
Right.
name of Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Right. 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 Right.
One
Right.
of those thoughts too comes to me. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Hmm. Mhm. I'm kind of stunned. Mm. Wow. Mm.
Because it's like, yeah, that's what I think of it. Some people might think of it as a simple flower, but it's not.
Mhm.
Mm.
Until the next episode, remember to take life as one grain of sand.